Okay, so my favourite game that season was probably, I would say, Colwyn Bay away. Earlier in the season we went down there and it got called off, which was such a long trip, it was a nightmare. But in terms of the game, in the last few games that we had, I think they were the toughest team left to play. So if we got the 3 points here, we knew we'd stood a much better chance of getting promotion. It was a tough game. We went 1-0 down. In the second half, we came out firing. I scored. Tommy set me up, funnily enough, and Sluy come on and scored. And it was a last minute winner, I think, from Sluy. So such a big win in terms of the promotion push, and the game itself was a battle. There was plenty of scrapping, some big tackles and stuff, and obviously the famous Dean Wright running away moment, what the treble and the fans will know about. So probably that game for me was probably my favourite.
Hi, good afternoon, fellow Sea Dogs. Hope everybody's well. Martin Dowie got in touch and asked if I would give some insight into probably my most memorable game for the club, and why. There's loads of games that spring to mind. My debut in 1990 in March against Colchester. 4 games later, a goal against Bury, big club in our league at the time. Loads of away fans, and a 4-2 win against them was a great memory for me. I also played Red Star Belgrade and Leeds United, who just won the Premier League, well, the League Division 1 at the time, in a pre-season that year. So it was great to come up against players like that down at Seymour Road. Another memorable one was probably the 2-2 draw away at Southampton in the Cup. 3-1 down from the first leg and then 2-0 down quite early on. Within about 90 seconds, Letizia had scored, Shearer had scored, and then we got a penalty, I think midway through the second half. And Matt Letizia had a bet with Dave Logie, the left back, and just said he'll miss. Logie offered him 50 quid on it, and of course Mox put it away, being the player that Andy Mockler was, with his technique. Put it past Tim Flowers. After the game, Matt Letizia came in and paid his 50 quid debt to Logie, so very honourable of him to do that. But I think my most memorable game was the 3-3 draw away at Crewe in 91-92, I want to say. 3-0 down. Darren Foreman got himself sent off for what he thought was a dodgy decision, but it was a straight red. With 5 minutes to go, 3-0 down and looking like losing at Gresty Road under Dario Gradi's team. And then somehow Mark Jules went across the pitch, got played in by John Ashton, slipped it past the keeper with 2 or 3 minutes to go. Went up for a corner. We had a corner late on, I think it might have been 89, 90 minutes. Corner broke down a little bit. Ball came back to me about about 5 yards out. Swung my left foot at it and went in. And then 93, 94 minutes, Tom Mooney managed to scramble one through the keeper. I remember running past the keeper who'd fluffed it on the line and gave him a little head rub and grabbed the lads and ran towards the away fans behind the goal, everybody on the fence. Just going mental. It was an incredible game. If anyone was there, they'll remember the feeling of that was just superb. Made even better by the fact that Dario Gradi was moaning about how bad we were and what a bad team we were, and we had no tactics and we couldn't play and that. So it was nice to stick one over him on him. The only other one that will stick in my mind was one which never actually happened. Was that Ray McHale gave me the captain's armband for a game against Bury at home on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night. I'd captained the youth team, I'd captained the reserve team, and I think Mark Calvert was out for the game, and Ray asked me to captain the team, which was a huge honour. And that would have been the best moment of my career until the ref knocked on the door 5 minutes before kick-off and said the game was off, waterlogged and fogged. So my dream of skippering the team never actually happened. So most memorable game would be the Crewe game. Anyway, all the best everybody, stay safe in these times, and hopefully see you along at the Flamingo Land Stadium in the not too distant future. Good luck everyone.
Hi all, Chris Boulder here. So I've been privileged enough to both play for Scarborough and also be part of the coaching staff. So I've had fantastic memories in both capacities. But the game that really stands out for me was the game against Tadcaster Albion on 17th of April 2017. This was the final league home game at Queensgate in Bridlington. We were on a fine run of form, mounting a serious charge for the playoffs, so the win was vital. It took us right to the end to get the winner. Big Benny Igion popped up and scored a fantastic goal right at the death. and sent everyone into jubilation. I think for me the most pleasing thing was for the fans to witness that, knowing that it was our last league home game there, and they'd continued to support the club away from the town of Scarborough, and for us to send them fans into jubilation was fantastic. So that's my greatest memory of being a part of Scarborough Athletic Football Club. I wish you all the best in the future. See you later.
Hi there, my name's Chris Tate. Being asked to do a video of my favourite football game for Scarborough Football Club. So many great times at the club. Love the club. But on a personal note, I think it's got to be the Carlisle Scarborough game at home at the McCain Stadium. I think it was on a bank holiday Monday. I think it was May bank holiday. I think beautiful summer's day. Obviously, it was the season that we went down at the time. We were fighting relegation. I think we were really close to each other. But I came to McCain Stadium and we beat him 3-0. I think the lads played awesome, if I remember, and I was just the luckiest player on the park to get a hat trick. Actually, it was a perfect hat trick. It was one with my left, one with my right, and then my head. And I think that closed the gap on them a little bit. I think that gave us a bit more hope. And as I said, yeah, I was just the lucky one at the right time, at the right area to score them 3 goals. So yeah, so that was probably my favourite game for Scarborough. But as I said, so many, and it was just a shame that we just couldn't do it at the end for a 1-1 draw against Peterborough, I think, and obviously Carlisle, the keeper goes to score. But yeah, as I said, on a personal note, that's probably my best game. And obviously it was just at a sad time when we couldn't get out of relegation. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that anyway, and take care and see you later. Bye bye.
Hiya Martin, I hope you're all keeping well over there. It wasn't easy picking my favourite game. The 1-0 victory versus Southend to set up the Chelsea game. The Chelsea game itself, which the whole nation tuned in for. Beating Carlisle 1-0 at home in January 2005. That result propelled us back into the playoff positions, and it was a really good team, strong, solid performance. However, the game I'm going to choose is the 2004 St Stephen's Day Boxing Day game against York City. It was the game everyone looked out for when the fixtures released. The players, the media, and especially the fans. Nearly 5,000 fans attended in wet, miserable conditions. I had family over from Ireland, which made it nice. They saw free-flowing, attractive attacking football with loads of goals. I remember playing in midfield with Redders and Tyrone, and I knew after 10 minutes we were the better team on the day. We went 3-0 up at half-time with Tyrone and Neil scoring 2. And you could see on the fans' faces all the tension in Christmas week turned into sheer joy and elation as we walked off. I remember they had a pitch invader. He didn't even get by our first. Stewart tackled him down. Set our fans wild, propelled us again to score another 2 goals in the second half. They did score 1. The game finished 5-1. After the game, the pitch invasion, I had my family over. It was just one of those magical sort of Christmas moments. Even the return game 7 days later, I remember Chrissy Senior scoring in injury time, running the length of the pitch with everybody chasing him. I don't think anyone caught him until he reached whacking goals. But it was just a magical time to play for the club. Asking me to do this has brought back some unbelievable memories. And as a group, we're fortunate to play in such big games, some that I already mentioned and possibly the other players may pick. Just looking back through the squad as well, the squad, like we had the best goalkeeper in the league, and whack, we had best midfielder in the league with Scott Kerr and Redfern. We had Tyrone, Hottie, no one got past him, Footy, Keith Gilroy in the wings, David Pounder, Ashley Lyde, Bakes, Chrissy Senior, and Hackers, Kevin Nicholson. Like unbelievable players. Looking further down the list as well, we had if we had Jimmy Beadle and Michael Coulson maybe 4 or 5 years older to add to that squad. I think we just missed out on that little bit of experience and that know-how to close out games. We went the whole season unbeaten at home, just probably drew too many games, and you turn 6 or 7 of those draws at home into wins. We would have been in the playoffs, and you never know what could have happened after that. But great times. Anyone who I meet and speak about Scarborough, such fond memories of their time there, and it's great to see the club at the moment looking so healthy and thriving and doing things the right way, and long may it continue. Thank you. Definitely alleviate some boredom and look after yourself.
Hi guys, it's Dave Arters. I've been asked by you guys to give my favourite Scarborough Athletic moment. I thought long and hard about it and I couldn't come up with one, so I've got two. The first is Teversall away when we got promoted. All the fans on the pitch, the lads with the tops off, were singing and dancing, and that was class. And my second is the Derby Brid game on Boxing Day, probably like 1400 there. Went 1-0 down, and I ended up scoring the winner to make it 2-1. Slid straight into the crowd, got booked, and that was a great memory for me. Cheers guys, stay safe.
I've been asked to pick my most memorable Boro game. I think the obvious one is away to Brighouse, the year that we won the league. What a fantastic game, great performance by the boys, and the atmosphere by the fans made it even more special. And obviously against your rival, it really set the benchmark of where we could kick on from there. But for me, it would be the home game against Redford, finding out that Barton had equalised in the last 5 minutes and handing us the championship with one game to go. I think for me that just tops it off. Unbelievable scenes with a great bunch of kids, you know, and the rest is history, as I say. Thanks for your time.
Hi, Jed Dalton here. I hope you're all staying safe. I've been asked to recall my favourite Scarborough game from over the years. For me, it's got to be the 3-2 victory over Redditch back in December 2006. I was fortunate enough to score the winning goal and be given the Man of the Match award at the tender age of 16. So this is certainly one of the fondest memories of my time at Scarborough. Cheers.
Hi, Howard Nursey. I used to cover Boro from the mid-1980s for about 10-12 years, and it was one of the happiest times of for the club, and there's some memorable matches throughout that period. The memorable games I can remember, going to Wembley when I was sort of 11, 12 years old to see Boro win against Stafford and Dagenham, were pretty dramatic. Some great cup wins against Coventry City, at Chelsea, some near misses against Chelsea again more recently, and in the fog against Arsenal. But I think the most memorable single game for me, if I had to narrow it down to one, would be, it must have been April 1987, GM Vauxhall Conference as it was called then, Sutton United v Scarborough. I think it was Scarborough's penultimate game of the season, and it was a long trip down through South London into Surrey. Sutton United were a pretty good team, they were good at home, and it was a tough one. I can remember, I think it was a beautiful day, it was blue skies like today, and pretty warm, but it felt, even though it wasn't, it felt like the whole of Scarborough was there, but certainly a massive amount of travelling fans had taken the trouble. It was a close game to start with. I think Phil Walker might have scored for Boro to start the scoring, and then definitely Mitch Cook made it 2-0 in the second half. A memorable goal, really good goal on the break, and that effectively won Boro the title. I can remember that Barnet played on the Monday night, they were the rivals, and they lost. Might have been to Stafford possibly, can't remember. I can remember listening to it on a crackly radio in Sheffield up a hill where I could just get the coverage of Radio York, and it was incredible, and it meant that Scarborough were champions without actually playing, and they went on and played against Weymouth at home in front of sort of 6,000 people in their final match. So that was the single most memorable match for me. Sutton United 0, Boro 2. And now I think with the new stadium, the new club, it's been a pleasure for me, for my son to go to a few matches. We live near Manchester, so it's hard to get to games. But he's been to a few matches, home and away, and he now sort of has Scarborough Athletic as his second team behind Man United. There we go. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Hi, Jamie Mitchell here. I've been asked to remember my favourite game that I ever played for the famous Boro. Going back a few years now, so I played for Scarborough 1996 to 1998. Gave me my debut in league football against Cardiff. I remember it well. I actually come on as a sub, believe it or not, and I remember one of the players threw a water bottle at me. I must have been looked really young and about 9 stone at the time, but yeah, so that was nice. But my favourite game would be the game in the Coca-Cola Cup against Hull City at the McCain. We won 3-2 in a night. I remember it was a midweek game. It was a Tuesday. I think it was a Tuesday night or maybe a Wednesday, and atmosphere was tremendous. Really big crowd. Hull had brought a few fans along as well, so the stadium was pretty full. Pitch was looking good. I remember Barney the groundsman, so the pitch was looking good, and yeah, we played really well that night. But I think personally, I probably had my best performance in a Boro shirt. My confidence was high at that time, and I remember playing pretty well. A few mazy runs, few strikes, set up a couple of goals. I didn't score, unfortunately. I remember hitting the crossbar with a 30-yard strike. Well, it seems 30 yards, probably was only 20, but with my left foot. But it was a great night. We won 3-2, and I think we went through on aggregate as well, and played Leicester in the next round. But I also got the man of the match that night, and I remember playing, and my name was called out. So I think it was about 5 minutes to go or something. I just had an amazing feeling that I'd won man of the match in such a big game, and I got awarded the mountain bike after it, the Coca-Cola mountain bike, which was brilliant, and I've still got the pictures to this day of me receiving the award. I've not got the bike anymore, unfortunately. I don't know what happened to it. I think I might have sold it or something. But having played, I think I played over 80, 90 games. I don't know the exact number for Boro, and I had a lot of good times, but that's probably the one that sticks out the most. Thank you.
So my favourite games for Scarborough back in the day now really were 2 games. The 2004 Boxing Day game at home to York, where we won 5-1, and then the away leg to that on New Year's Day when we won 2-1. Just amazing games to play in, proper games of football, pretty much sold out stadiums, thousands of fans. Both sets of fans, if we're being honest, were really, really good. Scarborough fans were passionate and buzzing by the fact that we were actually beating them. But York are a well-supported, passionate group of fans themselves, and so it was a good clash. It was a good clash on the pitch. It was a good clash in the stands. We annihilated them at home. Just high tempo, hard working. You know, we weren't the flashiest team in the world, but we had guys that would run through walls for each other. And it was just an absolute pleasure to be a part of. 5-1 on Boxing Day in a big derby game like that, you don't get many better results. And then in the return leg, when you knew that they were going to be up for it to put it right in front of their own fans, we went there and we put in an absolute shift. I still remember now, I didn't really tackle, as most of you who watch those games would know, but I actually remember putting in a couple of tackles away at York, which probably took my career total into double figures at that point. And it was just brilliant, putting your body on the line, getting in the way of shots. Mark Hott at the back, Hottie, doing his thing, like the ginger Baresi. Just no one could get past him. Won all his headers, even though he's about 4'3". Yeah, just incredible times. Really, really enjoyed my time up there. Haven't managed to get back since I left when the club folded, unfortunately. But follow what's been going on and the resurgence, and would love to get back up there at some point, take in the new stadium and see some old faces and how they're getting on. So hope everybody's staying safe and staying sane, and yeah, some great memories there. Take care.
Hi everybody, hope you're safe and well. I've been asked to comment on my favourite Scarborough game and go through why it is for me. The game I've chosen actually isn't my favourite, but it's the one that sticks in memory the most, and that's the 1-1 draw against Peterborough in the last game of the 98-99 season, which ultimately saw us relegated. It sticks in the mind most because of the whole situation we were in and how we were battling to avoid relegation. I'll start with the week before. We played on the Saturday and then we played on Wednesday, and our last 3 games were against playoff hopefuls, all teams rooting for the playoffs. So we'd beaten Halifax on the Saturday, we beat Plymouth on the Wednesday, and we'd given ourselves a real massive boost of avoiding relegation against Peterborough. The game itself, we should have won. I think we played really well. We were 1-0 down, equalised, and then one thing that sticks out for me in the game is Darren Roberts hitting the crossbar from about 18 yards when he should have scored. He's said that to me before, and I've played against Darren a few times after that, and the first thing he said to me after every game, I can't believe I missed that chance. I can't believe I missed that chance. So it's obviously stuck with him. But after the game, we made our way to the dressing room, and we had a small telly in the corner of the dressing room, and Grandstand was on, and obviously Carlisle's game was still going on, and it came across that they'd scored and we were ultimately relegated. So the atmosphere sort of got sucked out of the dressing room there, and it was a huge blow. But we made our way out onto the pitch where the fans were, and they'd obviously heard the news, and they were absolutely brilliant with us. And that's the thing that sticks out most, that they were consoling and supportive, and made us feel a little bit better because we were all absolutely gutted. So thank you to everybody who was there at that game, that fateful game. But yeah, that's what sticks out the most in that game, and the fans have been the same ever since. Obviously Scarborough FC is no more, but Scarborough Athletic have those fans now, and you see what they've done this week with the deficit of money and the donations that they've given and raised, and they're absolutely brilliant, and they do it year in, year out. So well done everyone for that, and thank you for supporting me in my game that sticks out most. Not necessarily my favourite, but one that I look back on and think, yeah, that sticks out. That one does. Not for a great reason, but thank you very much.
Hi there, this is Paddy Billington, not my garden sadly, just doing a bit of exercise and needing a haircut like everyone else. In terms of my history as a Scarborough fan, I'm 39 now, and I've probably been a Boro fan for 35 years. My dad actually wanted me to be a Man City fan and took me to Main Road, seeing massive games like Liverpool and Arsenal, but there was something here when I watched Scarborough play. It was my hometown club, and that overrode any feelings I had really for Man City, so I was always destined to be a Scarborough fan. In terms of highlights over the years, there have been so many. I remember being a mascot against Halifax Town, running out with Mitch Cook. It was a great moment. We won 3-1 as well, so that was great. I got sacked as a ball boy against Blackpool. I think it was their manager Billy Eyre at the time, who was going absolutely mad. I didn't know you were meant to throw the ball back to both teams, so if it went out for a Blackpool throw and the ball landed next to me, I just left it. And so he was going absolutely mad, and I got sacked at half time. I was in floods of tears, to be honest, but we got looked after and given a good seat in the main stand for the second half. Obviously the cup games, like your Chelsea's in the late 80s in the League Cup, that was a very, very special moment, probably the ultimate highlight for me. I remember as a small kid having to stand on a concrete block which supported one of the one of the poles in the shed, just to get a view, and the place was absolutely bouncing that night when we won 3-2. obviously games like Coventry as well, excuse me, very, very similar. 2-0 down from the first leg, and then beating the league leaders of what is now the Premier League, beating them 3-0 on the night. Absolutely incredible scenes. And as time's progressed, there's been some amazing long away trips, memorable victories, last gasp defeats, and all that's all part of the football journey, isn't it? And with the new club, we've got so much to look forward to. Oh, one other funny story actually to share with you. Me and my younger brother once turned up at the Scarborough versus Tromsø friendly. They're a team from Norway, dressed as Vikings. We thought we'd pretend to be Norwegians. We thought we'd blend in, but there were no other Norwegians who turned up, so it was just us. It was really awkward because I knew some people and some people knew me, but fortunately no one recognised us, and we just pretended we didn't understand English all night. But we were made a bit of a fuss of, which was a little bit strange. But look, the new club is growing. It is going to thrive. The volunteers make that club. The volunteers make Scarborough Athletic. I am so proud to wear the badge whenever I can, and I will continue to support Scarborough as long as I live, as I'm sure many people will. Up the Boro.
Hi everyone, for me, my favourite Boro game, first time round was away at Aldershot. I think it's a really tough place to go. We weren't expected to get anything, and we went there and we won 1-0. I scored a header off a Redders corner, which is very rare. I've not scored a header since from a corner, so that was a special game for me. That the bus journey back was great. 5 hours on the bus after a 1-0 win away at Aldershot. It doesn't get much better than that. And then this time round, I would say both Stratford FA Cup games. The home game when Ozzy scored the late equaliser to get the replay. The atmosphere was incredible at the Flamingo Land Stadium. Then the away game on the Tuesday night down at Stratford. I mean, the amount of fans that went down was fantastic. I think we got back to Scarborough about 3 o'clock in the morning, and what a great day. It meant so much for everyone at the club with the funds from the FA Cup. So I'd say them 2 games this time round. Thank you.